Hey, Bugman026 here. Thanks for hanging out with me, taking a look at another Fortnite action figure. Today we're going to look at the Black Knight. Got kind of a medieval theme going here. He comes packaged with the 1x1 builder set. And you get these little pieces. You get 9 of these little stone pieces. And then you get 9 of the little ones that look like sheet metal. Steel, really neat looking. And then you get 13 of the wood ones, and all of the wood have the small peg that you can peg the action figure on, which is really cool. And you're going to get 3 windows, and they kind of just work anyway. And you also get a door, which fits the figure pretty good. A little crooked bar in there that adds a little flavor to it. Now, I will say about the building set, it's a really neat idea. It can be frustrating at times when you're putting this thing together. It's not like what I would figure the game would be like. I figure the game would be go, 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 hurry, hurry, hurry. The little builder set is no, 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 slow down, take your time. And kind of don't get frustrated with it, because you can easily get frustrated trying to build some of these 90-degree corners, and just some of the pieces won't fit certain ways, and it gets kind of frustrating, and you have to go back and redo a lot of what you've done before. But it's still pretty fun. I've messed with mine a little bit, and I found that when you put your pieces together, if you take the slot side and go in from the top, that they snap in a lot easier. And if you push from the peg side down, they'll come apart a lot easier than trying to fit them in any other way. It's just really a lot easier to do it that way. Now let's take a look at the bread and butter of this, the party piece for me. Let's take a look at Black Knight. It's a really cool figure. Took a look at Calamity on the last video I did. Kind of stumbled through that one. But Black Knight, he's really got a nice heft to him. He's got a heavy little weight to him. He stands really well. Got a lot of attitude. Really cool detail up here on his helm. I'm sorry that I'm sideways. I'm kind of limited on space, but here you get a lot of nice painted detail that really brings out a lot of the, the stuff on his helm here. Got his 2 little red eyeballs staring at you, looking all nasty and evil in there. He's also still got that cool little head joint that helps. He sticks his head out and he can rear that thing back and he can look straight up. And he's got a lot of range of motion right there on that neck. You can get him kind of pushed and he's looking down on you like, I'm so much better than you. He's got a really neat design in his armor up top. Kind of a, I don't know, maybe a nuevo. I don't know if that's even the right way to say it, but kind of a new style armor on his chest there. Turn him around on his back. Not as much flash back there, but I mean, you're not going to be looking at the back of him much anyway. His arms have a really cool chainmail design on them. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. The light is really bad. But they really got a nice chainmail design on them. And the arms, the simplicity of the arms, I really think sell it. It does have one little issue that I found on a couple of these Fortnite figures. Is this elbow, these elbows really don't want to turn much more than that. You can't get a 90-degree on them. It does help that you have this wrist articulation in here that brings that wrist and helps turn that wrist in and out. It would be nice if this wrist on this side had the up and down like a modern day G.I. Joe, where he would be going up and down instead of in and out. One thing that really tickles me, and I'm interested with this little figure is this little red band around his arm there. And this is a moment where I would like to bring one of the back in the day type things coming. Now, back in the day, we didn't have things like this that would really work and were different parts of the arm. The first action figure I ever got, and I don't have an example of him, was Buck Rogers. I think he was from 1977, 78. And around his right arm, he had a band, and it was just a sticker. And if he got wet, and I mean, who among us didn't dunk our action figures in the bathtub with us every now and again? They didn't want action figures in the bathtub, they wouldn't have made toy submarines. I mean, you know. But we dunked them in the water, the sticker came off, and eventually we got around to where we got paintwork. And I have my 1982 Steeler here. He's my original from 1982. And the little band around his arm there is just a little paint band, and it's almost worn off. He's got gold band syndrome. There's one on this arm over here. If I can get it on the camera, you can see it. And that's what we had for a while. It just gold paint. So we moved from stickers to paint, and then eventually, like on this 1992 Gung Ho I have, we get a molding onto the arm that gets painted. But we always wanted that to work. I always wanted that to move or do something. And I don't have a modern day equivalent of any figures that have anything around their arm right now. But strangely enough, this little thing back in the day would have meant quite a bit to a lot of us. As simple as it is, but, you know, I'm easily entertained. Down here around his waist, he's got a really neat pouch that looks like it might be glued in. I'm not in the habit of tearing my figures up, so I'm not going to try to pull it off and see what we've got going on there. I really like the way they're using these softer plastics on these figures and trying to add a little more style in there. That really, you know, adds a lot to it. One of the things that I really like about this particular figure is that little patch right there on his pants. When I see that little patch on his pants, I can't help but start thinking about Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And I want to jerk his leg off. You know, it's only a flesh wound. Love that movie. Everything on this figure really works well with me. I really enjoy the figure until we get down here to his shins. And the armor on his legs, to me, just, they don't fit. Something looks wrong. I may be wrong, but everything else in his armor has these nice flowing angles. In his helm, he's got nice flowing angles. And then you get to the boots, and the boots are square. And I've noticed on some of these figures, too, that a lot of the lower legs, they have the same shape, so you can only, you know, it's probably more game design than figure design that's going on there. But overall, I can get him set up right. Black Knight is a really cool figure. He's got some nice paint work, a nice little splash of red here. I'm thinking this was supposed to be a silver stripe, but it looks just more like a little rough edge on his bandana. I don't know. His gloves are kind of weird looking and out of place, since it looks like he's wearing mechanic's gloves as he's doing the hustle. But overall, I think the whole style of this quirky little action figure line, this guy really matches up and fits in well. He comes packaged with this little guy here, looking rather lethal. I think they call it the Axe Caliber Harvesting Tool. Get a better look at it there. It actually looks like one of the few weapons that you get with figures. I mean, this one was a deluxe figure, so he does come with a couple of weapons, but he really holds his axe well. Gets a rather menacing look every now and again. I really like this pose here, if you will indulge me for just a second. Being a child of the 80s, late 70s and early 80s, we kind of have an affinity for the heavy metal music, and he looks like he could just throw down, doesn't he? That's right. Thank you for that. He also comes with another harvesting tool. It's called the Pick Squeak. Has a little llama picture on it right there, and it says Smash. See if we can get that to show up. I don't think it's going to show up very well. Anyway, I can only suspect that this is probably the most powerful pickaxe in the game. One of the hardest ones to get, since it looks like it does. Either that or it belongs to Rust Lord, since he didn't come with one. He also comes with this grenade launcher. And the grenade launcher is an epic grenade launcher. And he holds it really well and looks pretty rad doing it. Oop. A little bit there. And he can hold it with both hands. And when he does, he looks like he's getting ready to lay waste to somebody. And he also comes with the epic legendary burst assault rifle, which fits in there pretty well. And he can double hand that one too. I'll put in a couple of pictures at the end of some poses I've gotten him into. But overall, I really like Black Knight. These Fortnite action figures, I'm really digging them. I'm glad I didn't completely pass up on these, because there's not a lot going on out there right now in the 4-inch figure line, and these really satisfy the need. They scratch the itch. So if you see them out there and you've been kind of on the fence about them, grab one or two of them. Grab this guy. The whole set was only $25, and you can make some incredible little things with all these little pieces, parts, and with just a couple of figures you can have a pretty nice little diorama going on your kitchen table that you can change perpetually and not really get tired of. So far, I'm really digging them. Thank you again if you've watched this little video. I appreciate it. You don't know how much I do. And enjoy your toys, especially these Fortnite figures. They're really nice, and I'll see you again some other time. Bye-bye.